Disclaimer. This video contains half voiceover, and if you are uncomfortable, you can mute the audio. There is nothing related to Idol's personal life. Photos and songs are not mine, credit goes to the rightful owner. But the storyline is mine. Now let's begin.
With a smirk, she ped to her knee, her dress peeling around her. The alley was cold and ditty, but she didn't care. All she cared about was the feeling of him in her the way his bdy responded to her tu-cent-h. She took him in cent-h by in cent-h, her t-degree usw, ling around the head before taking him Europa. Taehyung's hands t-ing ed in her hair, gud, in her movements, as he watched her with dead eyes. The sight of her red psstr3 ched around his cent-k, was almost too much to be at her. He could feel the tension building in his his bdy scr at min for release. But he knew this wasn't about him, not yet. This was about showing her what she'd been missing, about making her burog for more. He ed her btck, his cent-ks, ping from her with a w t pop. Not yet, he murmured, his voice hoed rse with need. Wyman looked up at him, her eyes glazed with LST, please, she whispered, her voice a de rate plazing. Taehyung chuckled, the sound low and dark. You want it, Yes, she g'd at Ned, her ps sent king against his lurog. Beg for it, he said, his eyes shine with challenge, ynspr, fought with a but re won out. Please, she buroged, f sent kami, tie. The words were like a spell, breaking the last of his restraint. He fted her btck onto her feet, spnn, in her around so that her btck was against the wall. He pud head her s up, exp in her res to the cool air. His hands row at med her degree dy, feeling the hero at t of her skn, the softness of her cuves. He st3 ped cl his cent-k engaging against her trance. Is this what you want? He dulled, his voice ad at rk promise. Yes, she whimpered, pu hin btck against him. With one swift motion, he entered her, ling her completely. Nsg at sp was lost in the noise of the city, the sound of their bdies coming together. The only music they needed. Taehyung's ps began to mve, a slow, steady rhythm that had her ninned with every strke. The world around them fell away, leaving only the two of them and the de pura rate, carnally driven dance of their bdies. Ns nails scr at ped against the brick as she arched back, her bdy burogg in for more. Taehyung's gr on her pst ght ned, his thist's wing more nt as he cha at his own release. The alley was their playground, the city their audience, but they were lst in their own world, a world where the only thing that mattered was the burning par ion that had been s3 ring between them for years. And as they re-chade the puro at k, their bdies shadering with the force of their climax, and couldn't help but wonder if this was the start of something new, or the end of an era. Taehyung pu'd out of her with a grn, his eyes never leaving hers. They were both bro at fles, their bdies ck with sweat and re. He leaned in, pre-dolling a gentle k, s to the n at pe of her ck, his arms still around her wast. You're incredible, he murmured, his voice hoarse. Wyden couldn't find the words to respond, her mind still reeling from the nsns of their enc unter. She felt his hand sl to dwn to cup her s, his gr, p.firm and pos $. Let's go to my place, she said, her voice shaky. We can talk. Taehyung chuckled, his bro at thw at rm against her skn, we've never been good at talking, have we, he said, but he didn't test as she pu'd away from the wall and started walking. Her apartment was a short distance away, but the journey felt like an eternity. Each step was a silent promise of what was to come, a tacit agreement that this wasn't just a one-time thing. The anticipation grew with every passing second, the ck with unspoken words and unanswered questions. When they finally made it the tension between them was visible. Wyman led him to a bedroom, the room bathed in the soft glow of fairy lights. She turned to face him, her heart racing as she searched his eyes for any hint of regret. But all she saw was hunjer, the same hunjer that Mer read her own. Without a word, they pp3d each other be it re, their cl this fa, into the floor like discat are dead armor. There be dies co, dead once more, their ki $sd euro p and urgent. Hands row at med, exploring every incent h of exp said skn, relearning the contours of each other's be dies. Taehyung's mouth found her any cent k, his teeth grazing the sens, tive skn. She g at ped, her b degree dyr sent him into his t dutch. He pu head her ba sent k onto the bed, his eyes never leaving hers. I've wanted this for so long, he murmured, his voice ck with re, but I never thought it would happen like this. YNSBR euro at it sent head as he positioned himself between her legs, his sent k once again engaging at her enter at NCE. What did you think, she asked, her voice a whisper. Taehyung leaned DWN, his BR euro at THHT against her ear. I thought it would be slow, he said, his voice AD at RK promise, a chance to S at vor every moment. And with that, he SL at MMED into her, there'd be dies M Ving in a rhythm that was as old as time. They were LST in a symphony of M at NS and G at $PS, their hearts beating in time with the SL at P of SK and on SKN. The air was charged with energy, the tension building with every STRKE. As they are at shade their P euro at K once more, Wang couldn't help but think that maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something more than just a rivalry turned physical. But as she felt Taehyung's W at RMTH fill her, she knew that for now, this was enough. For now, they were just two old friends giving into a par ion that had been building for far too long. And as they yell at why they're tangled in the aftermath of their lovemaking, she realized that sometimes the most unexpected moments were the ones that had been written in the stars all along. YNSI searched Taehyung's, looking for answers to questions she hadn't yet formed. His gaze was warm, tender even, a stark contrast to the fiery par ion that had just consumed them. His hand stroked her hair, his thumb at sing lazy circles on her forehead. It was a comforting gesture, one that spoke of a bond Europa than their rivalry. What now, she whispered, her voice still sure at KY from her climax. Taehyung sighed, his CH Euro ST rising and falling with the steady rhythm of his BR Euro at TH. I don't know, he admitted, his eyes never leaving hers. But I do know that I don't want this to be the last time. Her H Euro at RTSK, PP3DAB at T at his words. The idea of a future with him, of a relationship that wasn't based on competition, was both terrifying and thrill. Me neither, she murmured, her voice barely audible. They yell at why there for a while longer, there'd be degree dies still in T-double and Ned, the silence between them speaking volumes. The world outside their bubble had stopped. SP, NN, ing, and all that was left was the sound of their BR Euro at THS mingling in the quiet of the night. Finally, Taehyung ped himself up on one elbow, looking down at her with a serious expression. We can't go back to the way things were, he said, his voice firm. This changes everything. Wang nodded, understanding the gravity of his words. They'd said a line, one that couldn't be said. I know, she said, her voice a mix of apprehension and excitement. He let Ned down, pressing a soft K$s to her LPS. Then let's not, he murmured, his eyes searching hers. Let's see where this takes us. Wang felt a THR run through her at the thought of the unknown, of the possibilities that lay ahead. With a nod, she ped her arms around his any cent K, pulling him CLR. Okay, she whispered, let's do this. Their KS depend, the par ion between them rain, ting. It was as if they were discovering each other all over again, the years of rivalry giving way to something far more profound. As their B degree dies M ved in SUNNC, their he at RTS. B at ting as one, they both knew that this was just the beginning. Their future was a blank canvas, ready to be painted with the colors of LVE, LUT, and all the emotions in between. And as they fell into a rhythm that was uniquely theirs, they eagerly awaited the chance to fill in the blanks, one stroke at a time.